Hi guys, Stanji again. In today's video is going to be foundation for dummies. We already covered eyebrows for dummy, now we're moving on for foundation. If you haven't seen that video, check the description box below. I'll leave the link there. So, I'm going to demonstrate using a product, a liquid foundation, and then a cream foundation. The liquid is a drugstore foundation, which I highly recommend if you're starting to learn how to use foundation. I would start with drugstores rather than high-end brands because it's a waste of money for you to spend money on foundation and you don't even know how to use it. And then the cream is going to be a high-end foundation. So, yeah. So the foundation I use for drugstore is Revlon's Nearly Naked and Cappuccino, and I'm number 290. This is my favorite drugstore one. I used to use Maybelline Fit Me, but I just kind of wanted to try something new. But anyway, if you do start using drugstore foundations, I recommend you use Revlon or Maybelline. Those are like the best ones in my opinion for like drugstores. I'm not really a big fan of any other drugstore foundations. I mean, I guess L'Oreal's True Match is alright, but I guess it depends on your skin and how it reacts to certain chemicals and whatnot. But my best experience are with Revlon and Maybelline. This, in my opinion, is kind of similar to MAC Studio Finish a little bit. It gives me full coverage. I've never broken out or anything from this foundation. But then again, my skin's not very sensitive. I've never had an allergic reaction to anything or any type of makeup. So, yes, if you're using drugstore, I recommend Revlon or Maybelline. So let's get started. Okay, so when you're doing your foundation, I kind of corrected my skin just a little bit. I didn't do too much because the foundation is going to cover all that and whatnot. So I'm not really contouring anything, so I don't need to put on so much. So what I do is I put my foundation and then put it on the back of my hand. Just pour a tad bit. Oh, and when it comes to foundation, a little goes a long way. You do not want to put a whole bunch of foundation on your face because then you're just going to look super scary. And that's not cute. So then I just dab my finger and then just dab it all over my face. Just put it everywhere. Then if I have like remaining stuff over, I just like rub it anywhere on my face. Everything. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my foundation brush. This is my favorite foundation brush in the entire world. This is by Sedona Lace, and this is the number 813. And then I'm just going to blend out the foundation. It's pretty self-explanatory, this part is. And you want to take your time when you're doing this because if you don't blend this in right, you can really tell, especially if you're taking pictures or something. So take your time when you're blending out your foundation or blending your makeup, period. Because if you're in a rush, it'll show. And then that's all blended. Okay, so as you can see, I blended out the foundation pretty nice. My face is extremely oily and it's not like it's blended. It looks like my skin. So yeah, just making sure. And when you do your foundation, make sure I was doing like underneath my chin and whatnot, because you don't want it to like stop, like you don't want it to be like a line right here. So just make sure you're blending it into your chin and whatnot. And then that's it for the liquid part. Then I use Revlon's Nearly Naked pressed powder in medium. Whoa. Yeah, in medium, number 30. Now some people, like I have a friend, she has extremely oily skin. So she could just use a powder and her face will be fine. Me, I have extremely dry skin. So if I was just to put on powder, my face will be looking flaky and just nasty all day. So I use liquid foundation, then I put powder over top of that. I'm not a person who could just put on powder foundation. That just doesn't work for my skin. So, this comes with a little powder thing, but I don't use that. I'm using my Sedona Lace brush, and this is number 376, and this is just a powder brush. Then I'm just going to apply this all over my face. And make sure you definitely blend out the powder, because if you don't, then you can just, like, if you take a picture with flash, you could kind of see the powder, like, if it's not blended out correctly, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But make sure you definitely blend out the powder. Okay, then when I finish that, I like to go over my face another time with a matte bronzer, so it kind of like mattifies my face, because I still feel like it's kind of shiny, dewy looking, and I like a matte face. I'm not really too fond with dewy when it comes to my face. So I use the Rimmel London Sun Bronzer number 22. This is the natural bronzer. This is what it looks like. Hit pan, and it kind of broke a little bit, but it's still good. So I like to put this over top of my powder when I'm done with that. And then my foundation is complete for the, what did I just use? Liquid. I just had to wait for it. But anyway, it's complete with the liquid. So when I'm done with that and I'm like about to leave or whatever, I'll use my Matte Fix Plus and then just spray it on my face so that it stays all day. But I'm about to take all this off and show you how to do the cream, so there's no point in me doing that right now. So if you have a really good setting spray, I recommend this, or Urban Decay's All Nighter Spray. Those are the bomb if you want your foundation to stay up all day or all night, whatever. So yeah, if you want long lasting foundation, get those products. Okay, now moving on to the cream. Okay, so now it's time for the cream. I already took off all the liquid and whatnot. So now I'm going to do the cream, which is my favorite foundation ever. I need to buy my own instead of using the one from my kit, which is kind of bad, but I'm using it very sensitively. But it's the Bobbi Brown BB palette. I use the foundation sometimes and the concealer corrector sometimes. Not really often because it's for my kit and I need to say the colors, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, this is the best foundation ever. Like, I'm going to buy my own stick foundations, but this is pretty much a sample of every single Bobbi Brown foundation, concealer, and corrector in a palette. I'm not going to go too much detail. I already did a video over. If you want to know about this palette, click the description box below. I did a whole review on this palette. But anyway, the color I use for my foundation is Warm Walnut and Almond and Very Deep Bisque for my concealer corrector. I take Very Deep Bisque and then just get up under and do my face. So this is just going to cover all my dark circles and kind of highlight them a little bit, trying to give you a little highlight. And I recommend if you're using stick foundation, or cream foundation, this is really hard to do, to apply with the foundation brush. So what I'm using is cosmetic wedges, and I recommend you use these or a beauty blender. I don't have my beauty blender with me right now, I can't find it, so I'm using cosmetic wedges. So this is what I think you should use if you're using stick foundation, because it's very hard to blend with just a foundation brush. You definitely want to make sure you do you blend this good, because you don't want a whole bunch of streaks on your face and you don't want it to crease when you're blending it out. So make sure you blend this really, really good. If you want to know why
concealers were, because this is the only place where I have dark circles. I put it on my forehead. It looks like I'm highlighting, but I'm not. This is where my dark circles are. It's on my forehead because of acne, because when I get acne or any type of bumps, it's like right in the middle of my forehead, so then it leaves little dark spots from acne. So those are the only places where I have like really dark spots. Everything else on my face is pretty good. So, cover that up.
Now going back with the my concealer brush, I'm just going to take very warm walnut. To take a mix of chestnut and walnuts and put that on my face as my foundation. Hard for you, what you can do is take some moisturizer and dip it in and put your like stick foundation or cream or whatever on like a palette or something, or the back of your hand, and mix it and then that creates a liquid foundation. If this is too difficult or it takes too long, because this is very time consuming. But I'm not going to do that because I'm showing you how to use a cream foundation, then mixing it with moisturizer will just make it liquid. So if this is too difficult for you, then just mix it with the moisturizer, and then voila, you got liquid foundation. Okay, now I'm done with my foundation, and I look extremely well, in person I look kind of dewy. Like I said, I don't really like dewy foundation. So I'm going to go with my Maybelline, no, this is not Maybelline, my Revlon Nearly Naked powder and my Rimmel bronzer, and then just put that all over my face like I did before. Same routine. Do that sometimes when I do my foundation, I like to contour my nose because I got a really chubby nose, and then I like to sometimes do my cheeks, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm just when I contour, I don't use a foundation or nothing. I just use the powder. I'm using Black Radiance's mahogany, rich mahogany.
Cheekbones or nothing. Kind of got a fat face a little bit. So, that's what I like to do.
And voila, that's the end results. Yeah. Usually, when I do my foundation, I do my eye makeup first, just in case I mess up, and I can just like wipe it off a little bit or something, or I don't want any fallout under my foundation. So when I do my makeup, I do my eyes first. I know I do my brows first, and I do my eyes, and then I do my foundation and all that good stuff. So I kind of did it backwards a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the second video in the Makeup for Dummies series. Not really sure what I'll do next, but it'll be soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, leave comments and whatnot below. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe.